Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, November 11th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be looking at a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's main slate overall. It is an 8-game main slate, so a pretty decent sized one. These are kind of my favorites where it's not too big, it's not too small, kind of right in the middle, and hopefully we know a lot of the news early on once again today. And then going over to both DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about my core picks for today on both sites. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the point guard position on DraftKings, we went with Monte Morris. He was $5,400, looking for 27 points. Had him projected for about 26. Obviously, there was no Bradley Beal. There was no Kristaps Porzingis last night, but he only got to 11.25. He was a miss. He only ended up playing 19 minutes in this game. I do not see anything about an injury or anything like that. They just kind of played Jonathan Goodwin more than him for whatever reason, so that was just kind of unfortunate there. At shooting guard, we had his teammate Will Barton at $4,100, looking for 21 points on him. He got to 31.25, so he was a hit. Obviously, they needed some scoring in this game. It was really him, Kyle Kuzma, and Rui Hachimura that did the scoring for the Wizards yesterday. Then moving down to small forward, we had Tobias Harris at $7,100, looking for about 36 points out. He had been playing pretty well as of late, but only got to 28.5 yesterday. He's a miss, 5 for 15 shooting from the field, mainly scoring yesterday from him. He did have a handful of steals, though, as well, but not too much in terms of rebounds or assists on yesterday's slate, so that was a little unfortunate there. Then at power forward, Maxi Kleber looked like a pretty good play without Christian Wood. $3,400, looking for 17 points time. He got 10.75. He was a miss. Played 21 minutes, 1 for 6 shooting from the field. Seems like Tim Hardaway was kind of the guy that really picked up the extra minutes yesterday. And then last but not least, we have Bam Adebayo at $7,900. Looking for 40 points time. He got to 44.5, so he was a hit. So it was a little bit of a hit or miss day on DraftKings yesterday. If you had some other decent plays, you had a chance at cashing. Might have just been a little bit more difficult overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Tyrese Maxey at point guard, $7,800. Looking for 39 points out. Had him initially projected for 38 points yesterday. Got to 26.3. He was a miss. 5 for 17 shooting from the field. Just not too great overall there. Then we moved down to Anthony Simons, the shooting guard, who looked pretty good after Damian Lillard was ruled out. We were looking for about 39 points out. He got to 34.6. He was a miss. 5 for 18 shooting from the field, so that really didn't help overall, but still not the worst play in the world yesterday. And then at small forward, we had Kyle Kuzma, who was probably on the opposite end of the spectrum, is one of the best plays yesterday. $6,500, looking for 33 points time. He got to 57.2, so he was a very good hit on yesterday's slate. Obviously, there was no Bradley Beal or Kristaps Porzingis yesterday, so he was that main part of the offense for that Wizards team. Then at power forward, once again, we have Maxi Kleber at $3,700, looking for about 19 points out. Got to 11.6, so he's a miss. As I mentioned on the DraftKings side, got to 21 minutes, 1 for 6 shooting from the field, and didn't do too much else overall. Then last but not least at center, we had Jonas Valanciunas, who was $6,700. We're looking for 34 points time. Got 21.7. He was a mess. Only ended up playing 20 minutes in this game. Larry Nance actually did end up playing, and he played 23 minutes, so that really just killed Valanciunas off overall. I said when Nance was ruled in that you could switch off him, although, the choices weren't too great at that point in time. But if you got to like a Bam Adebayo, I believe you still could have got to him at that point, because I believe the Nance news was right before that game lock. But that's just one way to do it. I had Bam Adebayo already in a power forward myself personally, so can't say too much there at this point in time, but just a little bit unfortunate overall. Not the best day in the world. Sometimes these smaller slates are kind of unfortunate, and it really wasn't the greatest that we didn't get the Trailblazers news till like all the other games locked too. So that is just something that happens on these smaller slates. Hopefully, when they're all condensed together, you get the news early, but it doesn't always work out that way overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for today's slate overall. So once again, it is an 8-game main slate. We got 2 games starting right at 7 o'clock Eastern time. The Denver Nuggets are without Colin Gillespie and Ish Smith once again. Boston Celtics are without Danilo Gallinari and Robert Williams. Malcolm Brogdon does join them out today. Could be some extra minutes for a guy like Derek White. Maybe he's a GPP play, but if they start Grant Williams once again, still not too interested in him overall. Then for the Phoenix Suns, they're without Jay Crowder and Cam Johnson once again. Ish Wainwright is listed as questionable to play tonight. He's been dealing with some personal stuff. Probably not going to be too big a factor in their rotation either way. And then we have Chris Paul listed as questionable once again with his heel injury. If he does not end up playing, Cam Payne's going to look pretty good. Devin Booker's going to look pretty good once again as well. Then for the Orlando Magic, they're without Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Wagner once again. Kevon Harris and Paulo Banchero are both listed as questionable, and both did miss the last time out. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on that. If Boncaro does not play once again, we could see some value maybe in Achuma Okeke, and Jalen Suggs is going to look a little bit better overall as well. And then we move over to the Detroit Pistons. Hamidou Diallo is questionable. Really just a bench piece, not too important for DFS overall. Cade Cunningham, though, is questionable if he doesn't play tonight. Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, probably even Bogdanovich are going to look a whole lot better since they're going to be scoring the ball. Somebody else is going to end up in that starting lineup, whether it's a Corey Joseph and Alec Burks, who is probable today. He could make his season debut, as well as Marvin Bagley. So just kind of seeing how that all plays out for that Pistons team. Could be some value opening up throughout the day. And then for the Knicks, they are without Mitchell Robinson. Once again, Quentin Grimes is listed as probable to play tonight, so should be in that lineup. Whether or not he starts is a different question as well. Moving down to the Milwaukee Bucks, which was the big value spot the last time out. Probably going to be a big value spot once again tonight. Giannis, AJ Green, Drew Holiday, Joe Ingles, and Chris Middleton are all out once again. And then we have Pat Connaughton listed as a game time decision. He's been dealing with a calf injury. Don't expect him to play tonight, but if he did end up playing, probably won't play more than like 22 minutes tonight. And probably just more of a hindrance to some of the value than anything else. And then for the Spurs, they're without Wesley and Collins. Once again, some no real changes on their side. Moving down to the Toronto Raptors, they are without Precious Achiuwa, Kem Birch, and Pascal Siakam, so getting a little bit smaller in that front court. So there's Christian Koloko, Chris Boucher, they're both GPP plays. We did see Thaddeus Young play a little bit more the last time out as well, so see how they approach that overall tonight. And they don't have to go super big against Oklahoma City because they're not like a strong big man or anything else like that. And then Justin Champagnie listed as game time decision. We'll see if he's available tonight or not, but not really in the rotation either way. For the Thunder, they're just without Darius Bazley tonight. Last time out, we did see Povashevsky get pretty big minutes, but that game did go into double overtime as well. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, just Naz Reid really out tonight. Minot and Garza are both in the G League. And then for the Grizzlies, they were without Danny Green, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zaire Williams once again. So no changes there at all. The Cavaliers are without Ricky Rubio and Dylan Windler once again. So there's no real changes there once again. Golden State Warriors without Andre Iguodala, and then Dante DiVincenzo listed as game time decision, but has a chance to play tonight overall. Sacramento Kings are all the way healthy. And then the Lakers are without Dennis Schroeder, LeBron James, and Thomas Bryant. Obviously, LeBron being out is a big one there. Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook both going to look pretty good tonight overall. Lonnie Walker's listed as questionable. He's missed the past 2 games with an illness. And then we do have Anthony Davis. He's listed as probable with a back injury. If he does not end up playing, then Russell Westbrook's going to look pretty good overall. And the rest of the Lakers team is not going to be too great, but there could be some value options available there as well. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Chris Paul, Paolo Banchero, Cade Cunningham, and then Anthony Davis, I guess. At that case, those are kind of going to be the big ones for tonight, but Davis is probably going to play either way. But Cade Cunningham, Chris Paul, Paolo Banchero, those are going to be the 3 main ones tonight. And then if anything else does pop up throughout the day, I'll list it in the comments below as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Trey Jones for the San Antonio Spurs, $5,600. Looking for 28 fantasy points out of him tonight. He's averaging just under 30 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 30 tonight. Should be a pretty back and forth game versus a lowly Milwaukee team without all their star players. So there is a pretty good chance that he pays off at this price tag. You could also look at Javon Carter, who's on the opposite side of the game, has a similar type of projection as well. Just a little bit less salary and a little bit less fantasy points projection as well, but he did have the big game the last time out. And then at shooting guard, we're going to go Jay Knighty, $5,700, looking for 28, 29 fantasy points at him. He's averaging just under 32 so far in the season. Currently, I'm projected for 30 tonight, but definitely has upside for more if Cade Cunningham does end up missing and he kind of runs the show overall tonight. Then small forward, we're going right back to Grayson Allen. He's $5,100, so his price tag did go up a little bit, looking for 25, 26 points out. Averaging just about 21 on the season. Should be a pretty good pace-up spot. There's no Giannis. There's no Chris Middleton. There's no Drew Holiday, so he should have opportunities for more shots. If his shot's going in, if he's playing well, he's going to get the minutes, and he's going to look pretty good overall. Currently having projected for 28 fantasy points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more as well, though. Then at power forward, we got Isaiah Stewart once again. He's $5,300, looking for 26, 27 fantasy points out of him, averaging 30 so far in the season. Pretty consistent player. His price tag just never goes up for whatever reason on DraftKings. Currently, I'm projected for 27, 28 tonight. Has a little bit upside for more as well. Then last but not least, we're going to Brook Lopez, a guy that I didn't think was going to play last time out for the Bucks. So keep a little bit of an eye on that today just to make sure that situation doesn't pop up tonight. But he is going to be one of their main offensive scorers tonight. Once again, Looking for 31, 32 points on him. He's averaging just under 33 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 38 tonight. Definitely has a little bit of upside for more, as we seen the last time out as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $22,000 exactly remaining, just over $7,300 per player. So a little bit of room to pay up for a player or two if that's something you want to do, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine on tonight's slate as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side at the point guard position, we're actually going to go with Javon Carter at $5,100. Looking for 25, 26 fantasy points out. He's averaging 21 so far on the season. Obviously had the monster game the last time out. If he was able to do that once again, he'd be 10x again tonight. But do not expect that. He's never been a prolific scorer or anything like that, even going back to college. Been more of a defensive guy, been good at passing the ball and everything else like that, which does play itself pretty well on the FanDuel side overall against steals and everything else like that. But playing big minutes tonight in a pace-up spot, should have some opportunities, and currently have him projected for 28 FanDuel points tonight. Then we have his teammate Grayson Allen at shooting guard once again, $5,000. Looking for 25 points on him. He's averaging about 20 so far on the season. Once again, it's a pace-up spot. He's going to get minutes. If he has his shot going down, he's going to pay off in a big way tonight. Currently, I'm projected for 27 points tonight, though. Then at small forward, we have Klay Thompson at $5,700. Looking for 28, 29 points out. He's averaging just over 23 on the season. But he's really been starting to get going as of late. I currently have him projected for 29 points. It's been really what he's been getting around as of late. Pretty safe play overall. If you're looking to pay up a little bit more at that small forward position, look at a guy like Jaylen Brown tonight, who does offer some upside and a reasonable price tag as well. Then we move down to power forward with Julius Randle, who's been a little bit better since Mitchell Robinson's been out. $7,400, looking for 37 points down. He's averaging 36 so far in the season. Pretty good matchup against the Detroit Pistons tonight as well. Maybe another favorable matchup against Bojan Bogdanovic as well, if that's who's defending him, if it's Sadiq Bey, or if he's playing a little bit of small ball 5 against Isaiah Stewart. Definitely could have some advantages against all 3 of those guys. And currently have him projected for 38 points tonight. Has some upside for more. Just haven't seen too much from him at this point this season. And then last but not least, we're going right back to Brook Lopez. Once again, $6,700. If you want to go Bobby Portis here, you can do that as well. We're at that power forward spot. I like both of them quite a bit tonight. Portis was kind of let down last time out, but Brook Lopez was the major factor there. And obviously, as I mentioned, $6,700. So we're looking for 33, 34 points on him, essentially what he's been averaging so far in the season. Currently have him projected for 37 on the FanDuel side tonight overall. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you'll have $30,100 remaining, just over $7,500 per player. So some room and some flexibility if you want to pay up for a couple higher priced players tonight, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach. This is definitely fine on tonight's slate as well, and I think it's definitely something you can do. We'll see if there's any other value that opens up throughout the day that allows us to pay up a little bit more as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 11th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, please note if those questions are more directed towards FanDuel or DraftKings, just so I can help you as best as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. And then with that being said, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day, and I'll try to get to as many of the starting lineups as possible throughout the night as well, just depending on how the night goes and everything else that I do have going on today. And then if there's any updates to the core throughout the day, I'll try to list them about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock or as they do become available. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now we have NBA DFS and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up these daily NBA DFS Core Pick videos Monday through Friday, as well as the weekly NFL DFS Core Pick video, which comes out on Friday as well. And then the live streams for the Thursday night and Monday night football game, single game showdown slates, primarily focused on DraftKings. But if I do have time, I get to FanDuel as well. So if you are into NFL DFS as well, be sure to check out all that stuff as well as my weekly cheat sheets over at WeBet ats.com. If you're into just the NBA DFS, you want to dig a little bit deeper, feel free to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/CoachCraigSports. Small monthly donation there. You get my player pool for the day. Also gives you some stuff for NFL DFS and fantasy football if that's something you're into as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.